you met your wife, Jessie.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool. So if you all want something to go out and watch, go check out 50K and a Call Girl. It's fucking, it was one of you, I don't know if it was one of your first movies or one of your first written and directed movies. What was that?
No, I'd say, let's see, man, 17 or 18, somewhere in that number.
Oh shit! Okay.
It was, it was one of my, I think maybe first or second dramas though, and like,
maybe
I'm a comedian. Yeah, I'm a comedian, so like, some people only knew me from that. Like, that's the weirdest thing about all this. Like,
genre.
Some people only know you from that, and you're like, all right, cool. But I love that film, and it was one of those things where that one, I was in the middle of writing. I didn't know who the girl was in this script, and I was frustrated by it. And one of my friends had gotten back from Sundance, I think it was Whitney Cummings, and she had sent me the trailer for that. She was like, hey, there's this dope ass movie called Bellflower or whatever, go check it out. And I was bored on a Friday night writing the scripts. I didn't know who the girl was. And I drove down and saw it. And I was like 8 people in the theater at like UCLA.
Yeah.
And the opening scene came on and she popped on. And I was like, oh my God, that's the girl. That's the girl I was writing about. And so that was on a Friday nights. I called the casting director Monday morning and I said, hey, you can go ahead and cancel like the casting search if you find this girl. And they were like, what? And they were down because they got paid either way. So they were like, I don't have to see 500 people or just one. And I was like, no. And they go, look, if she comes in and she auditions and she's lights out, then it'll be her and that's it. And then she came in, she crushed. And afterwards, and I'd never done this before, I was like, hey, do you want to go get beers? And it was me and the producers and the director. And she goes, yeah, let me change out of my heels. And she threw on some fucking flip-flops to go to this bar. And I was like, oh, this is definitely the girl. She's fucking down.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's.
But I didn't know we get married, obviously, like that,
well,
you know.
No, that movie is kind of a telltale story of your life, just like in jets and doing different crazy shit. So, by the way, can you tell the quick story just about the jet, like taking that jet?
Oh yeah. So like, that was one of the things with that script was she had asked whether or not all of this was going to be shot real. And I said, yes. And at that point I'd hired the director because I wanted it to look real from Intervention on A&E, that fucking crazy ass show where people are shooting up drugs and all that shit. And I was like, look, if this guy can steal shots of people shooting up heroin, in their basement or at a restaurant, I was like, he'll easily be able to shoot this fucking movie. And sure enough, he was. And so she said, are we really doing all this for real? I was like, yes, we are going skydiving. We are flying fighter jets. We are going to the World Series. We are going to the Grand Canyon. We are going to Joshua Tree, all the other stuff. And it was, I think we shot 42 cities in 40 days. Wow. Was the end for that movie. And, when we did the fighter jet scene, like at that point I had produced maybe 7 or 8 films. And I looked online, everywhere to get these fighter jets. And this guy said, there was one guy who was just like, he had this website. It was super professional. And he goes, yeah, man, I've flown these jets for Iron Man 2. And I mean, he had a laundry list of credits. They were just like, oh my gosh, I wonder if I can afford this guy. So I called and I go, hey, we need 2 of us up in these planes. I go for an hour tops, a half hour, doesn't matter. I just need to get the shots and we're good. And he goes, yeah, no problem. And he goes, it's going to be $5,000 a piece, and I was like, oh, okay. Shit, that's pretty inexpensive. That's great. So we'll do it. So we go up, we meet this guy, and he's telling all these fucking crazy Hollywood stories. He's saying all the right things. And I thought for sure, I was like, oh, this guy's lived a life. Like he has been in all of these films. And we got the shots, the scenes. He was a great guy to work with. And then boom, we left. 2 months after the movie finished, one of my producers sends me an article from Vegas, and he said, hey, one of the jets crashed in Vegas and killed the pilot and the passenger.
Oh shit.
And I was like, what? And they were doing a mock dog fight in the air like this, and just for funsies. They weren't even filming.
They were just fucking hanging out, flying around.
That's crazy.
Crazy. And And so the guy that I was with all day, they were looking for him. He was gone. And it turned out he took this jet to Russia. The website, all of his credits, everything was a lie. He had bought 2 fucking Russian fighter jets.
MiGs or some shit.
Flown him back to America, was charging people $5,000 a pop and was doing it for hours at a time.
And he wasn't
making all this cash because the fuel is cheap. And I didn't know that. And so this guy was living the life. And then boom, they got onto his trail. Well, he takes that jet over to China because there's 1 jet left. And it's him. And he enters an air show to win some cash to kind of stay alive, over there.
Yeah. And
he claims that he did this trick where he could skim it off the top of the water. And there was a lake over there. And there's a terrible story. I should be telling this, but there was an 18-year-old Chinese reporter in the back and of this, because it's a two-seat type of deal. And he goes, yeah, so now we're going to skip the water and it's going to be dead.
Dead.
Skips the water, catches the wheel, fucking dies. And then,
sorry, I didn't mean to laugh, folks.
I mean,
it's fine. You hate China, but whatever. So the 18-year-old died. Both jets are nuked.
Gone.
Everybody's dead. And the fucking guy, Riggs was his name. That was his last name. Of course it was. Well,
right?
I don't know if that's his real name.
Your best friend.
But look it up. Riggs. It's in there. And then, they did this huge story on him. Like, it was the wildest shit of all time. And I was like, oh my God, dude, like we could have been in there and fucking died.
So you think about that. That's what I was thinking. That's why that story comes up. It's like, you guys kind of have done a bunch of crazy shit and you're still not the level of doing that crazy shit. So,